Hey YouTube, welcome back. For this comment, I will make this specific video. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Karthikeyanurm. I don't know if I'm pronouncing right, but I read this comment that you requested me to create a video and talk about when to use REST and when to use GraphQL. So yeah, now we're doing this especially for you and for you specifically and for you all. So let's talk about when we use a REST and when to use GraphQL. Let me just take my jacket because it's quite hot here. Okay, so choose between REST API and GraphQL depends on the specific needs and constraints of your project. Each has its strength and its weaknesses, and it's suited to different scenarios. So let's talk about when to use REST API. So one, if we have a simple, straightforward data requirements. So if your application has simple data requirements with a clear endpoints, REST can be more appropriate for this one. It's a great for basic CRUD operations. CRUD means create, react, update, and delete. The second thing that you would like to use REST for is for limited resources for server-side logic. So REST is generally easier to implement on the server side and requires less specific knowledge compared to GraphQL. Number three, it will be if you have a strong need of cache, if you really need caching. So REST, sorry, I'm still ill, sorry. So REST can leverage built-in HTTP caching mechanism. This is useful for public cacheable data like images or static content, etc. I will say for if you have a standardized communication and documentation. So REST API REST APIs use standard HTTP methods and status codes, which are widely understood. Tools like Swagger and Swagger can automatically generate comprehensive documentation for you. Also, so and for these reasons, I guess REST API is a good choice for a lot of. I would say most of the applications could be great with REST API and also with GraphQL. The better with REST API is that first, REST is a great when it comes to learning. Doesn't have that many edges like GraphQL. It's using everywhere. It's still bigger than GraphQL. And also it has a lot good caching. The cache strategy is great, and this is one of the things that you will suffer from GraphQL. Also, GraphQL has other problem when you have deep queries, and we talk about deep queries in a dedicated video. But let's just make this video quite simple about only the REST and GraphQL and when to use what. Okay, so when to use GraphQL. One, if you have complex and if you have a complex data requirements. So GraphQL is ideal when your application needs to aggregate data from multiple resources, or if clients require flexibility to query only the data they need. The second thing that you would need GraphQL for, which is rapidly changing or rapidly evolving the front end. So if your front end is evolving rapidly, like in fast-paced startup environment, for example, GraphQL can adapt to changing requirements without needing to adjust backend for each change. This is a great one. This is a big one. This is really big one. Also, it's neat for real-time data with subscriptions. GraphQL supports real-time data updates with subscriptions, making it suitable for applications like live chat, real-time notifications, and etc. Also, if you wanna reduce the number of the networking requests. Oh no, this is wrong. Applications can that need to minimize network requests, especially important in mobile or low bandwidth environments, benefit from GraphQL's ability to fetch all required data in one single request. And this is huge. If you work with a big application, you will find that you have to make multiple requests, or you have to shift all of this heavy weight into the back end. So you will make multiple requests of the front end, or you will make the back end job more stressful, or maybe the back end will make all of these requests for you. So you will still, by the end of the day, make a lot of requests. Number 5 that you could like to use GraphQL for, which is strongly typed APIs. So GraphQL schema provides type safety, which can be beneficial in large projects with complex data structure, enhancing development efficiency and reducing runtimes error. I will say lastly when to use, and this one, which is dealing with multiple diverse frontends. So if your backend serve a wide range of clients like web, mobile, third parties, integrations, etc., GraphQL allows each client to request exactly what it needs without creating custom endpoints for each one of them. And this one also is huge. So in conclusion, choose REST for simpler applications when you need to leverage HTTP caching and when you have a microservices architecture, for example. Also GraphQL, it's great with microservice architecture as well. For GraphQL and you could go for GraphQL for more in more complex scenarios and more complex data, where you need flexibility in data retrieval, real-time updates, and a strongly typed API. The decision should be based on the specific requirements of your project, your team's familiarity with the technology, and the nature of the client applications you are serving. So this is the differences when to use REST and when to use GraphQL, and I will make another video to talk about what are the cons of GraphQL, and let's see what are the challenging that will face any developers that are trying to work with GraphQL. So yeah, that's it for today's video, and I hope you like my content. If you like my content, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and see you in future problem.